you guys do me a favor. I want you to go to colognebutter.com. Black business alert. Go to colognebutter.com. Black business alert. We got a black business alert. colognebutter.com. The brother is in here right now. Black business alert. Hey, even if you don't buy anything, go over there and check out what they got. Take a look and y'all tell me, does it seem reputable? Does it seem credible? Does it seem like some fly stuff? colognebutter.com. It's unisex. It's for men and women. colognebutter.com. Let's recycle the dollars. I want you guys to give this black-owned business a shot. colognebutter.com. Oh, I'm making a mess. Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Let me ask Ron exactly what's going on. It's two tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the
All right, y'all, the truth about dating a rich man, let's get into it. I see a lot of women putting rich men on a pedestal, idealizing and romanticizing that situation. And so today, I'm going to make a video just for you. Women think it's going to be about a man who pays all your bills, takes care of you financially. You don't have to work. You just get to travel, pose on fancy beaches, just live a luxurious lifestyle. Man lavishing you, and all you have to do is be pretty and present. Wrong. Ladies, you're moving into his kingdom, his house/castle. That's his money. It's his rules. He's the breadwinner. Guess what? He's in control. Most times, your job is to figure out how you can be an asset to him, how you fit into his world, not the other way around. This type of relationship can come with losing yourself in the relationship. Stop idealizing being with a rich man. Yes, they are successful and they should be commended. These relationships are not easy and most times not ideal. This ain't no Disney movie.
What was that young lady's name? Yeah.
Love Samantha Lee.
Love Samantha Lee. Very interesting take. And I'm not here to besmirch anybody's good character or disrespect anybody for what they want. But when I see this type of movement, and it's a movement, shout out to Attila Phillips for this topic as well. She's a muse. She's like who Betty Wright was to Miles Davis. Attila, my niece, is a muse. She like, yo, have you ever heard Sly and the Family Stone? She's basically saying, yo, Tio, Uncle Zoe, this is what they talking about in these streets. And I'm like, really? It seems so toxic. But in fact, it is an entire movement, right? And when I see people, you know, I need somebody to take care of me, right? You've heard of intellectual laziness, right? Intellectually lazy. I think sometimes this is psychologically lazy or spiritually lazy, right? Life is about building resilience. Why? You need resilience in an unpredictable environment. In 2019, I released a book called The Holographic Relationship, and one of the tenets in that book, it broke down relationship uncertainty. And I based it off of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which when you get down to the subatomic level, you know, they started to recognize, Heisenberg specifically recognized that you could know the exact location and the exact momentum of an electron, right? You had to pick, thus the birth of the uncertainty principle. And that inspired me deeply because I said, we struggle with uncertainty. We fear the unknown. Even if our known is perceived as toxic, it's what we know, and thus we are safer in our toxic known than we are in a healthy unknown, right? Very interesting. So with saying all of that, I see people who would rather go for certainty, predictability, safety than their own personal growth, which can, in fact, be exceedingly frightening, right? It's frightening to do the spirit work. The spirit work is not something, you would post on Instagram. Like, spiritual healing is ugly. It's almost like an exorcism. Yeah, let me post my pea soup, right? Let me post the pea soup I just threw up on Instagram. See, we want to post the easy. We want to post the white sand beaches. We want to post I don't know, give me something. We want to post what is it? Seafood is really big, right? We want to post some sea bass. That's Kendrick Lamar. I got a bone to pick like sea bass, right? We want to post all of that, right? I'm healing, I'm doing well, life is good. No, life requires you to develop resilience. And I believe lifestyle leeches are a bit spiritually lazy. Oh my God, I don't want to say it that way. Lifestyle leeches. Lifestyles of the narcissistic and blameless. Are you dating them or their lifestyle? Goodness gracious. Are you a lifestyle narcissist? Oh, their lifestyle has to validate your sense of self. I don't know. Yeah. They have to have a lifestyle that you didn't work for, but it validates what you think you deserve. Their lifestyle has to validate what you think you deserve, even though you didn't work for what they've accumulated in life. 1-800-920-1580. In an era where material allure collides with inner metamorphosis, Our attachments mirror quantum entanglement, exposing the dark underbelly of the lifestyle narcissist. On tonight's incendiary topic, this incendiary inquiry, we're going to try to dismantle the rigid dichotomies between mind and matter, urging a radical deconstruction of societal scripts that define vulnerability and authenticity, or vulnerability versus authenticity. We're going to integrate empirical neuroscience, epigenetics, and shamanic rituals. We're going to try to reveal how early childhood traumas and consumer obsessions sculpt our identities and obscure genuine connection. We're going to fuse Eastern mysticism with Western scientific rigor. This exploration challenges the seductive promise of the soft life, unmasking its spiritual bankruptcy and hidden manipulation. Ultimately, we're going to try to provoke a profound reimagining of love, power, and self-worth, right? Which could compel us to embrace transformative authenticity in a world intoxicated by superficial validation. This paradigm shift will ignite a profound revolution in relational consciousness if we let it. Is your attachment style quantum entangled with narcissistic consumption? Here's the empirical support. Neuroimaging and attachment studies indicate that early relational bonds shape reward circuitry, suggesting that the subconscious interplay between connection and material validation mirrors quantum entanglement's non-local properties. Are y'all ready for tonight's topic? Does the pursuit of a soft life mask deep-seated spiritual bankruptcy? Here's the empirical support. Research in positive psychology and behavioral economics consistently finds that an overemphasis on material comfort can correlate with diminished emotional resilience, underscoring a paradox where the soft life may suppress necessary inner work. Are you a lifestyle narcissist? Does he have to climb the mountain first before you can join him? Oof. Did you deserve the peak? Oh my. Do you deserve the peak of his life? Do you deserve the peak of her life? It's not unidirectional. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to know what you think. Are you dating a persona or the authentic self in the age of lifestyle narcissism? Yeesh. Here's the empirical support. Clinical studies on narcissistic personality traits revealed that, I don't even want to give it away. I hate giving it all away. I want to know your thoughts, though. Tonight is the night for you to share with me. I want to know what your thoughts are. Listen, when I come forward, the voice of reason, I'm going to continue frying up this dish because this is a meaningful one and I want us to get to it. All right? When we come forward, more from the VOR. Let's go. Get on the phone lines. I want to talk to y'all. No, it's not buffering. No, it's not buffering. Mm-mm. Hey, get to your phone line. Holla at your brother Zoe. Call me now. Y'all calling or not? Get to your phone lines. It's important we have this discussion together. Let's talk, okay? Call your brother Zoe. Get in here. Y'all calling? Let's go.
Women will give up on a relationship like that. Women don't fall in love with you, they fall in love with the dream of marriage and what you can provide. Women marry a lifestyle, not the man. Most, not all. If she doesn't desire permanence with you, she doesn't love you. Let's have a moment of silence for every man who tried to turn off to a housewife. Okay, bow your head with me, please. When a woman leaves you, she does it for one reason only. She thinks that she can do better. Your attitude needs to be this, even though it hurts, even though it's frustrating, even though you feel grief after a divorce or breakup. Your attitude has to be, okay, I'll be fine without you. Just a quick reminder to don't try to get her back. Your job now is to get you back. Send yourself flowers. That doesn't deserve any of your attention. She chose to walk away. Let her go. Let her go.
So there's a lot of hurt men out there. Let's address the elephant in the room. He said some true things. But let's address the elephant in the room, okay? A lot of men conquer the world so they can purchase their woman. But you got to be able to find the woman that wants to be purchased. It's the woman who is the lifestyle seeker that is up for sale. So really, these people are soulmates. Why are we in their business? They want each other. See, a man could go out and conquer the world, put all of his attention and focus on being the greatest expression of his purpose, and still be disconnected from his spirit purpose, right? Which is to understand why he is the way he is. So many men that conquer the world, they accumulate all of these things, and it is the thing that represents certainty, predictability, a soft life, comfort, all of that. So they attract what they are, in a sense. I need a woman who will bend the knee, who will capitulate to my power that has been demonstrated by my ability to go out and conquer the world. Now, is she with you? And I mean you. Because listen, I told you this before. Most men hide behind the gender roles. The gender role says my job as a man is to provide and protect. It doesn't say my job as a man is to conquer, right, the spiritual wounds in my being. Right? No, you don't hear men saying that. Somebody call in and check me if I'm wrong. You don't hear men say my job is to break generational curses. You hear women say that a lot. But you rarely, and I'm not speaking in absolutes. Men speak about conquering the world. Right? But the reality of it is most men that want a woman, they'll say, you know what, you got to behave in the same way that any other thing I've accumulated behaves. You have to do as I say. You have to follow my lead. And many men who don't have the resources to get this type of cooperation, right? Ugh. Who are you to even be asking me, sir? Right? Does it look like I go half on bills? Do you see? Does the pursuit of a soft life mask deep-seated spiritual bankruptcy? Empirical research in positive psychology and behavioral economics consistently finds that an overemphasis on material comfort can correlate with diminished emotional resilience, right? Underscoring a paradox where the soft life may suppress necessary inner work. Are you dating a persona or the authentic self in the age of lifestyle narcissism? Clinical studies on narcissistic personality traits reveal that curated self-perceptions or presentations often coincide with manipulative relational patterns, while longitudinal research in relationship psychology shows that authenticity predicts long-term satisfaction. Can vulnerability, when expressed, unravel the myth of fixed identity? Here's the empirical support. Linguistic research demonstrates that shifting language away from the static is, this is E prime, of course, Alfred Korzybski's adaptation on English, which helped physicists quite a bit, which breaks down English without the verbs is or to be, can promote cognitive flexibility. Clinical trials on narrative therapy have found that rephrasing identity narratives enhances emotional openness and recovery from trauma. Are you a lifestyle narcissist? Are you dating the person or their lifestyle? Gosh, a lifestyle vampire? Talk to me, ladies and gentlemen. 1-800-920-1580. This is going to be good. I love it already. Do early relational traumas epigenetically predispose us to seek marital validation over love? Goodness gracious. Put a ring on it. That's what Beyonce said. Here's the empirical support. Epigenetic studies and trauma research reveal that early adverse attachment experiences can leave biological imprints, leading to maladaptive coping mechanisms where material gain temporarily substitute for emotional fulfillment. I had a woman tell me live on a radio show once before, I'd rather be upset, crying in a mansion than happy in a one-bedroom apartment that I pay rent on. That's what I said, I'm about to jump out the window. She told me that. She told me this. The chat room is attacking me like I said it. I didn't say it. The lady said that to me live on the radio. And I'm not saying it's just women who do this. Men are like that too. How do nonlinear dynamics explain the paradox of autonomy versus dependency in relationships? I don't even want to go that deep. I just want to know, do you date the lifestyle or the person? That's what I want to know. Does someone have to have their proverbial ish together before they deserve to interact with you? Is that a narcissistic stance? I don't know. Share with me. Are you protecting yourself from, what does the lady call it? Dustiness? And who defines what is dusty? When we come for it, no. I want to bring this caller in, but no, I'm gonna wait until we get on the other side. We got callers on the line. I really want to know you guys' thoughts, right? Both men and women. Because oftentimes men act like the victim in this situation when in fact they are not so much the victim. Why? Because you went out, you neglected your own spiritual development. You thought that the world would bring every woman to heal. Like once you conquered the world, you thought I can bring her to heal. And because you invested in this game and got played, now all of a sudden they terrible, they demonic, they lied, they manipulate. But in a way you were manipulating too. You were cheating the system. What system? Relationship is a spiritual university where self-knowledge is the curriculum that is reflected bi-directionally. She's learning about her, you're learning about you. You take those bio reflections back to your spirit. You start unpacking them. You start studying and seeing how you show. That's what it's for. And if you felt like I don't have to do that because I'm making the money, you engaged in the game and got played. When we come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. I want to talk to you. Let's get it. Get on the phone. Let's go. We playing classic LA West Coast before gangster rap tonight. And I ain't gonna lie, Ice-T is on the list. And I'm not gonna lie, like, before gangster rap, our hip hop was a little different. Most of it was like fast and people wanted to pop lock and dance, and a lot of it was instrumental. Attila, you got to get on here. You got to get on the call, Attila. What up, everybody? Listen, if you want to give your brother Zoe a little bit of support tonight, I would appreciate it. Go to my Cash App. My Cash App is $Zoe If you appreciate the topic, if you're enjoying the topic, thank you, Nzenga, for reminding folks to support this channel in the best way that they know how, whether it's Cash App or super chatting the channel directly. Can I say nigga? Now, you know you can't say that on there. Is that my brother Ghetto Gourmet? Man, it's been a long time. 100 to Cash App. We just need 9 more. I wish Ghetto Gourmet, man, you have no idea how much that would help me. That would, boy. Much love, though. I'm appreciative of everybody who's in here. And I just love the fact that we come here on a day-to-day basis and we get involved in these types of conversations. I do believe these conversations are helping. Zoe said a West Coast playlist. Yes, before gang violence, but before NWA, gangster rap. And it's hard to say that because some of that music had, you know, gangster rap elements in it. But primarily it was about popping, dancing. Everything was dance oriented, and it was a little higher. Igane. And Lloyd Hinton and Heru Ali. We got 2 cash apps. I'm appreciative. Thank you. Oh, I didn't know that. Call in, ladies and gentlemen. That's one thing I love about Heru Ali. He always wants people to match his support. And he's always called people to the floor. Like, y'all, if I do this, y'all do that. Do it with me. And I'm thankful for that. Thank you, guys. All right, here we go. Oh, we got 3 minutes. Mary from Tennessee. We got folks on the line. Y'all ready? We got 2 minutes. Value for value is your term. And you've been consistent, brother. You've been hella consistent. What did I say this website was? I done forgot already. What was it? colognebutter.com. This brother who was just on Jill Monroe's show has unisex shea butter cologne. This one's called the One, Gratitude, Paradise, Legacy, Intention, Oud, Vibe, Balance. Hey. So this was his sample pack. And he was like, yo, brother, shout me out. colognebutter.com. Tell him Zoe Williams sent you. Here we come. Followed you, transparency. Please get in there and support your brother the best way you know how. Go to my Cash App. If you guys want to follow Ghetto Gourmet's challenge, we got 2. He said we needed 10. If we got 8 people to drop that on the Cash App, that would be crazy. Ghetto Gourmet, repost it. Chess can reveal a lot about how someone thinks is true. I was in the lounge. We play chess in the lounge a lot. It can show how you're too aggressive, too reactive. It could show your lack of strategic setup, right? It could show if you're too assertive, like if you're just a direct attack and you don't see what's on the periphery. Chess is Chess is crazy. My next thing is supposed to be golf. I'm being told by all the homies I gotta golf. So we'll see.
Spiritual ambition is where you have a desire for otherworldly things. Spiritual wealth, not material wealth. So just like you see people will work day and night to acquire material wealth, there's people that will do the same to acquire spiritual wealth. There's people that will get up at 4 in the morning to check the stock market, because in Japan it opens up at a certain time. There's some people really, they do this. They'll do that because why? They want to increase their material wealth.
Is he dressed like a swami? Got a little turban or something on? See, that's them people that be overreaching. He overreaching? I want to talk to the Westerner because that's how the Westerner talk. First off, spirituality transcends the notion or concept of wealth. There is no spiritual ambition, but I understand why he would frame it that way. He's framing it that way because he's speaking to a particular audience. Now, the difference between him and, say, Paramahansa Yogananda, who came here in the 20s and 30s and spoke directly to Congress about Kriya Yoga, right, is that he spoke his truth without capitulating and catering to and kowtowing to the Westerners that he was speaking to. There is no ambition in spirituality, and this is why people see it as not real. This is why people see it as not something that is tangible. There's nothing to do. The only thing in spirituality is being. There's nothing to do. You got people now that say, I'd be bored following the spirit path. No, the spirit path will, first off, you're not going to be bored. What you're going to be for a few years is in pain. And people have been avoiding that pain, which is why people are coming back to this lifestyle of the leeches, lifestyle leeches, lifestyles of the narcissistic and blameless. Are you dating them or the lifestyle they've amassed? Look at where we live today. Look at the dollar, right? Well, when you account for inflation, that 20 million in 1980 is actually 175 million, right? That's because the dollar's slowly gone down. And when the dollar continues to lose, its wealth, its value, it's going to, because every fiat currency that has ever been in existence has lost its value. The dollar is a fiat currency. This is why Magic Johnson, at the end of his career, toward the end, signs a 25-year, $25 million contract, getting paid $1 million a year. That was the first NBA player in the history of NBA players to ever get $1 million a year. Magic Johnson. Right? But if you account for inflation, how much is that 25 million worth today? This is why you're seeing contracts like the Supermax for 6 years, 379, because it takes that many dollars to match 40 million from the 80s. Do you see? So the dollar's constantly losing value. You say, what does that have to do with lifestyle leeches? Because it's getting exceedingly more difficult to carve out a life. This is why our NBA players and Major League Baseball players and football and NFL players, oh, he's dating Whoop-de-Whoop's wife. And then you start to see, wait a minute, she dated Whoop-de-Whoop before that. And then Whoop-de-Whoop before him. You start to say, what is there, a secret council of the prettiest women that recycled themselves to the lords of sports? And these men have no moral compass either. For the most part, in general, some but not all. The reality of it is, most of us are conditioned. Do you understand? To listen, who's that kid out of Miami with 37 children? He's a running back, or no, he's a wide receiver. What's the dude? Super fast cat was with Kansas City. Tyreek. I'm gonna have 36 kids. Dwight Howard, I'm going to have 37. Sean Kemp, 13. Let's go. I can afford them. What are we saying? Do you see? Having them just to be having them. But are they doing what Kendrick said? Are they teaching them how to pray? Ooh, and no disrespect. I don't know these people. I'm not saying that they don't do that. What I'm saying is, when you're looking at the climate of our economy and black wealth, is it any surprise that there are lifestyle leeches? Even men are going after wealthy women. Don't be mad. Don't listen. In an era where the soft life receives constant promotion, many individuals seem to exude ease and opulence while concealing a profound spiritual bankruptcy. Such lifestyle leeches cultivate an alluring facade, inviting admiration for their material abundance, yet subtly draining the emotional and financial resources of those who surround them. Drawing on empirical studies of attachment theory, neuroscience, and dark psychology, along with insights from metaphysics and spiritual traditions, one may begin to unravel the intricate dynamics underlining these seemingly magnetic unions. I will be nurturing. I will perform caring. I will perform consideration as long as you take this load off of my shoulders. Contemporary culture overvalues external symbols of success. Luxury and comfort serve as seductive proxies for inner fulfillment, leading many to overinvest in a lifestyle that shuns the messy shadow work of introspection. I never want to see me as I am. I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that, right? The exposure of our inner vulnerabilities and unprocessed trauma is a hideous sight, right? In this context, soft life promotion emerges as a double-edged sword, providing temporary comfort while forestalling genuine emotional evolution. Proponents of materialism deploy sophisticated manipulation strategies that echo techniques detailed in the works of Roger Glenwood and William Cooper. By rehearsing victim narratives, these individuals engender a potent mix of sympathy and dependency. Their carefully curated stories, steeped in a blend of self-pity and righteous indignation, serve not only to secure a steady flow of resources. Sound familiar? Sound like narcissism? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm sorry. A steady flow of resources, but also to reinforce a sense of entitlement. I deserve the best of what you earned. I deserve the best of what I work for. Okay. You deserve the best of what I work. Okay. And I'm not saying this is just women to men. Men are doing this too. As clinical observations by Patrick Carnes and Dr. Romani reveal, such narratives often originate from deep-seated shame wounds and a lack-based consciousness that continuously seeks validation through consumption. The consumption of what was put on the plate by another. You got people out there literally saying you should not bring anything to the table but you. And then I say, well, what have you done? What have you done? And they'll think, oh, well, I went to school here and I work here and I amassed this. No, 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 no. What have you done internally? Because it doesn't matter how beautiful you are or how wealthy you are, brother. If you have no internal wins, I'm going to say this plainly. You're not happy, healthy relationship material. I know that hurts. If you have no intrapersonal wins, you are not qualified yet for a happy, healthy relationship. When I come forward, I'm going to go even deeper and we go into the phone lines. Let's get it. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Pastor John, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are stepping up to this challenge. Long time no see. Heru Ali comes in here. Heru been down with us since day one, man. We've had some amazing conversations. Value for value. That's how my brother always shows up. He says value for value, man. I love that brother. He's a solid brother. He's always been solid. And he's proposed $1,000 challenge tonight. Will we get there? I don't know. But we're at 300. So we only need 7 people to support our good brother, John Gilbreth II from the Big Island, man. He just put $100 on the super chat. I'm encouraging people to go super chat or Cash App, whichever one. If you guys feel like this is something that you want to participate in, please support. I would definitely appreciate it. I would definitely be thankful and grateful if we could reach that goal. Let me go back over to Cash App right now to see if there are any new people to report. What'd she say? Let me see. Ooh, hold on. What's your thoughts on those same people? The unmarried giving married advice, the unhealed giving healing advice, the ratchets giving wife advice. We talked about that yesterday. Literally that topic, we literally talked about that yesterday. Ronan and Michael, they didn't give what Ronan was asking, what Heru was asking, but Ronan and Michael supported. So I just want to shout them out. I'm not going to say what they gave, but Ronan, thank you, brother. Michael, thank you, brother. So we got 2 more Cash Apps. Ronan, if you don't get in here, lifestyle narcissists, Suge Mac 510, you're always in here supporting. We appreciate you, brother. Always. Honors. Y'all ready to talk? Because I am.
we are all gods at night, but we become devils during the day. And if we can be gods during the day, we are gods all the time. And this purpose of life must not be drowned into various engagements with matter. You must remember, if God says, I have no time for you, and stop sticking in your heart, all your engagements have to be cancelled immediately. For one of the great sayings in India is, he is the cleverest who finds God. He is the cleverest who gives time to find God. He is the cleverest.
Love and heavy accent.
Within. And he who can stand unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds. The riches of peace cannot be taken away by all the robbers of circumstances and trials.
Man, I'm sorry, Andy. Andy, like, man, you love all them people with heavy accents. They listen. One day y'all gonna listen. Y'all gonna recognize I'm bringing in that is Paramahansa Yogananda. Paramahansa Yogananda. That's the guy I mentioned earlier in the show, where he came to America in the 20s. Right? He established his first ashram here in Eagle Rock. So near Eagle Rock, there's Mount Washington. He bought a place on Mount Washington and established, his first ashram. Look it up online. When Paramahansa Yogananda died, it's in the LA Times. It was printed. The man's body did not decompose for 21 days. 3 weeks. This is how much of a saint this dude was. He was tapped into the God light. His thing is, you can't be married until you're spiritually evolved. He said marriage is for people who have not won any spirit wars within themselves. This is why they depend on each other. He says now that bond, through that bond, you guys can elevate together and find God. He said, but the reason y'all need to be together in the first place is that you're not strong enough on your own. You've avoided looking to do the work. This is what we're talking about in terms of spiritual bankruptcy. Do you see? I need somebody to make my life easier. You live in the same world I live in. Do you see? Men on one end lean on the gender roles. Long as I fulfill my duty, and then they be broken to pieces and ready to snap and burn everything down when she cheats, when she gets bored. When your money can't provide meaning. See, when you ain't got nothing, money mean everything. But when you have the money and then you acclimate to having money, then where does the meaning come from? Do you see? We didn't have nothing as a people. So as a defense mechanism, many of our grandparents and foreparents taught us to go get the bag. They could have said the bag contains education. The bag contains self-education. No. They said bottom line is this white man world. He the one got the money. You want to get white man attention? You got to get some money. Am I lying? Yeah. 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. I'm going to get them in here right now. Mary from Manchester, Tennessee. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? You got to turn your radio down, sweetheart. How are you, Mary? What are your thoughts?
Hello?
Hey, how are you? Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
First, I said my perspective is from a Christian.
Okay.
I believe that God uses marriage to sanctify people. It's the quickest way to die to self. You're forced to put someone else's needs above your own. The same thing when a woman becomes a mother. You're forced to put your child's needs above your own.
Mary, hold on one second.
Hello?
Can you just turn your radio all the way down because we can still hear a little feedback?
Is that better?
Yes, that's perfect. And go ahead. You have the floor. I'm listening.
And I said, you're forced to, when you get married, you're forced to put someone else's needs above your own. If you're going to have a successful marriage, that's why I think a lot of marriages don't work nowadays, because everyone is so selfish. Everyone is all about themselves. They don't want to serve the other person, to see about the other person's needs before their own. That's why marriage nowadays doesn't work.
I love it. Go ahead.
As soon as problem come, oh well, I don't want to have to deal with that, and they run. They don't want to have to suffer or to sacrifice themselves for that relationship or for the other person. That's why marriage doesn't work nowadays.
I love it. Mary, hey, Mary, you know what? You all right with me, Mary. You know, you can call in here anytime you get ready. I appreciate your contribution to tonight's show, but I have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Guess what you just did?
I dropped a whole lot of truth on you.
You sure did. You brought Manchester, Tennessee in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to Arkansas. We going to Atlanta. We all over the Southeast. Let's keep it cooking. This is before NWA. This is before any of that. No gangster rap. You know it. This is when Dr. Dre had one of them tight-ass sequin suits. Had the makeup on and shit. LA was out here like... LA was pop locking hard. Oh, I got Wrecking Crew on the playlist tonight. And that was Egyptian Lover. He thought he was Morris Day, Prince, a rapper, an electro beat producer. Boy, Bobby, Jimmy, all of them. Now listen, just because a few people followed Heru Ali's instruction, that doesn't mean we should just fall back. Let's continue to support. If you want to support my content, if you want to support my channel, if you feel like it's valid, if you feel like it's viable and it has some merit and some meaning, and you have a little room to be able to throw a piece of change at us, please go to my Cash App or hit the super chat, which is the $ at the bottom of the chat. Please continue to support. I thank the brothers and sisters who have done so in the past and who continues to support. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'm thanking you guys. Yes, Too Short was back there too. We got a playlist though. And don't forget, black-owned business, colognebutter.com. Tell them Zoe Williams sent you. colognebutter.com. Tell them Zoe sent you. Thank you, Naz. All right, I'm finna roll through these calls quick, all right? Have your mind ready. Have your mind ready, because we're going to shoot through it.
Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like the kids. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches the nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man moves on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
No, the most shocking prenup I've ever seen, which was enforceable, had a provision that said that for every 10 pounds the wife gained in the marriage, she would lose $10,000 a month in alimony. 10 pounds of weight? Yes. So it was a very wealthy man who was marrying a very attractive woman, but he was very concerned that she was going to become less attractive and he was going to become more wealthy. So his solution to this was in the prenuptial agreement. He wanted a clause that said if they divorced, she was going to get like $70,000 a month for alimony. But for every 10 pounds she gained from the date of marriage, she would forfeit $10,000 a month worth of alimony. And it was designed to sort of create an incentive that she would remain thin. And that was enforceable. And the court said, this is a disgusting provision. I don't know why you married this person, but it's a contract. The two of you signed it, and you agreed to these rules, and you have a right to do that.
A wealthy man who hasn't healed is like a narcissistic boss. Do you understand? You got to capitulate, child. You're one of his toys. You've got to maintain all of the luster you came in with. Do you chub up on me? See what happened. Go on and blubberfy a little bit and see what happens. This is what I keep trying to tell y'all. There's nothing in the external world that can expand your already infinite spiritual bank account. Do you understand? You're already everything, spiritually speaking. You're already everything. You're one with God. And if you're one with God, you are thereby, therefore, infinite. Right? But most people have created an ideological and egotistical difference between themselves and God. And it's unfortunate. Lifestyle leeches, lifestyles of the narcissistic and blameless. Are you dating them or their lifestyle? Are you married to the person or a concept or an idea or a resource? Do you understand? I have to ask these questions because it's listen, people are talking about relationships all day in America. Everybody's talking about relationships, but nobody has an original thought on it, right? Well, not very many. I can't say no one, but not very many people have an original thought on it. My thought is quite simple. Relationships are designed to reveal you to you, so that you can claim responsibility over you, over yourself, right? And why do you want to claim responsibility over yourself? Because it's your life. And your job is to pick up the pen of self-authorship and write your own narrative. Now, however your parents raised you, I'm from the generation where we got whooped with extension cords and hot water bottles. I'm from a generation that kind of, that used to braid switches. Go outside and get me the best pedigree switches. I need 3 of them, and I'm going to braid them together for you. I'm from that generation. That's abuse in a lot of ways. I'm from the suck it up generation. Well, come to find out, that's abuse too, right? But then as we start to move further, we start to understand, well, it's abuse, but a little of it isn't so bad. Meaning, if you take away the suck it up and you take away self-resilience, if you take that away all the way, right? You take away self-resilience, right? Where, hey, there's a moment, my friend, you're just going to have to stand up and weather whatever this moment is, good, bad, or indifferent. So sometimes our parents are, from my generation and their parents, they would take out the frustrations of the world on their children if the children got on their nerves. But the point that I'm making is wherever you came from, you still have the power of the pen of self-authorship. But many of us identify with that and then create coping mechanisms We gaslight our own spirit. And then we go out into the world to manipulate others to get what we refuse to give to ourselves because the task is exceedingly arduous. Right? In what ways does the metaphor of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey offer a counterintuitive blueprint for understanding patterns of attachment and loss? Many of us don't know how to deal with loss, so we don't get close at all because we experience loss early in life, right? So we build in emotional distance. How might one deconstruct societal scripts that encourage emotional suppression when neuroscientific data and ancient meditation practice suggest alternative pathways? We can rewrite whatever script we modeled. Man, my phone lines are so packed right now. Are y'all ready? Let's get it. We got a lot of people on the line. I want to get them in as quick as possible. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Maybe on the flip side of it, because I know like a lot of the talk, seems to be, it's the soft life side, right? So I just wanted to kind of point out maybe just the so-called confusion or pressures of the man side. Like, there's one thing to provide, but it's still more to what provision is. It's not just materials. It is like, again, you point down to the source from which you come to generate, these items or tokens and exchangeables and so forth. Like what it takes to operate in this world, to provide shelter, a good time, and so forth. Women, say by design, would want to fall into that. Yet again, if the man, for whatever reason, feels like that's his place in the world to just be like an endless pool of giving for the wrong reasons, if you will, then that's where, like, even earlier on when you're talking about, I think it was even in the chat, there's people who would participate in that type of situation or environment without going further to find more substance and more value in self and more fulfillment aside from just the surface level stuff. It's like, if you crying about it, or even if you're in that position and then it's like, quote unquote, your woman leave you, that's just like annoying for it from the outside of it. Like the soft life,
Wait,
have you, like if you
no, go ahead.
aren't having them conversations,
No, go ahead.
No, you good. What's up, man?
No, I just wanted to ask the question.
What's
What's annoying about a man lamenting over the loss of his woman? I'm just trying to understand where you're going.
If you're going to use the word lamenting, then you're lame.
Lamentations.
Shout out to the Eagles that in the day, but like, I'm not saying it's not a good thing for a man to have feelings and be in touch.
In a way, you are.
They call the feminine side and all of that, but again, I gotta be, because like they're interwoven. Like again, true lamentations and so forth. Like again, the elements of grief, suffering, loss, abandonment issues, all of those things where they're all rooted in some sort of experience where you've been separated from your own soul.
Go back. You said, go back. You said you gotta be that way?
Which way?
What you just said. I said, you said you gotta, you can't have the emotions, is what you were saying. And I said, do you have to be that way?
Again, you would pray for, again, like just in that vein of our conversation here in our build, you would pray for, again, if a man is conscious, or say, I don't want to overuse the word conscious, just like narcissism or anything like that. But again, that's why I was speaking about your communication skills. Even if it's so-called the gift of gab that gets you the girl, that gets you the green, that blah, 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 it's like, it would be great and show the quality of the woman that that man has chosen or that man is providing for or what have you, if they're having those type of conversations to where regarding his emotional responses, or his freedom to flow in those states as he is, just who he is truly. Like a woman, to me, in general terms, is going to be supportive of allowing him the freedom to pour in and lament or to grieve or to struggle and so forth for show that emotion. However, again, it's all about maintaining them appearances in terms of what I believe the context of tonight's conversation is highlighting. Because again, you have apparently the soft life dilemma, where that's just like a spell for the laziness, or basically signing up to be on that proverbial conveyor belt. Like, you're not really, from that type of woman, you ain't gonna really get any kind of substantial support to develop and grow in that. And it, as a man receiving it, even if I say like maybe is striving for something better, that's where the emasculation comes, and that's where like, yo, just suck it up, just take it and all of that. There's no outlet for it, so you're just stuck in that cycle. But you're not necessarily going to be given permission to properly express and fully let those tears flow. You know, and it doesn't always have to be sad. It could be tears of joy. But the girl that just went to quote unquote soft life, to my knowledge, like, pardon the terminology, but she is literally a fleshlight with feelings. A brother that's just trapped with the soft life type of thing, if he's just being used, he's not with a woman that, say, is going to do anything but be the quote-unquote chicken head that she is. Like, again, like,
Wow.
the soft life being aligned with the proper man and the leadership and so forth, that can all be
a good thing.
So it's a byproduct of the man's walk or the man's willingness, correct?
No, I hear it.
You know, it's the fake lamenting, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like anybody trying to really heal. That's what I'm saying. It's y'all annoying to a degree. I mean, I want to have compassion at the same time. You know, empathy, I'm working on that as well. But I ain't trying to hear no grown man cry over a bust down and he went broke over in that sense. Like, again, it's,
wow.
It's shaking straight. But, like, if that's what you're doing, but personally, I ain't trying to hear that, John.
Hey man, guess what you just did? We got so many big callers. Hey man, Atlanta is in the building and cooking. Hey, if you want to join this conversation, because it's getting rough and rugged right now, the number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Let's keep going. Davy Lee, Arkansas, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yeah, what's happening, man? It's a great topic, man. I ain't gonna lie. Because, you know, I'm dealing with it right now, putting myself out here in the market. It be things I be trying to holler and all that. But, you know, they might see me as boring, man, because I'm not straight for the P. I'm not straight trying to get at your neck. I'm really not. You know, I'm trying to get a chance to know you, so I can see if I want to mess with that or not. So I'm in a situation where, like, I be feeling like if I don't G down and go straight for their neck, they ain't going to want to keep talking to me.
Wow.
And I'm trying to see doing what you're on, what you're into, and they want to get straight to the business. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm in the catch-22 for real. You know what I'm saying? Like the dang chat say, I'm really on it. But, you know, I just got to stay in these women's face, man. So either way it go, I'm hollering, getting at what I like. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm handsome. I got a little bread, but it ain't there. So they're not getting it. I'll help you, but you know, I can't do all of that.
Hey, man, I love the confidence and the swagger tonight, man. Come on. My man in here popping collars right now. I see what it is. But let me ask you, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like the woman was dating what you had and what you've accomplished over who you are? Have you ever been in that kind of scenario?
It ain't gonna be dating because I'm not really experienced with dating. I'm just not getting into it at this later stage in my life. You know, all my brothers, players, everybody around me, they really own it. So I was always around this type of information, but it's just like me living for my own self and really getting out here. So like when it comes to certain things, bro, if you see me in the gym with women, they showing their thing, all that. You hear me bending over in front of me, trying to entice me with their body, but they not willing to keep no conversation going. They'll show their mouth though. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Look back at me in my eyes and all that, but they're not willing to really engage with me. I don't know if it's because, you know, I make them feel uncomfortable because I'm blind, I'm still handsome, you know, so I don't know how I go. You feel me? I just know, you know, I catch women around my age, you hear me? They on some whole other stuff. It's either women who in their early stages, 21 and up, 20-something and up, early stages or later stages. And I'm not trying to really, you know, do all of that. I don't want to be dating a teeny bopper, you know what I'm saying? Or a woman next to the wheelchair. So I gotta, do what I gotta do.
Hey, Davy Lee, I'm not here to judge nothing, man. I just want to hear where you coming from. Brother, guess what you just did?
Yes, sir. I brought down Arkansas.
Man, Arkansas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Trust me, we got a lot to talk about. Exactly. Wow, Lloyd. Lloyd just gave us two more. He just gave us two more cash apps. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Lloyd. Ronan, thank you. People are cash apping what they can, and I appreciate it. Lloyd and Ronan are in there. Make sure, hey, if I didn't say your name on the cash app and you cash app me, please send up a little emoji, a waving sign, so I can shout you out. Please continue to support your brother, especially if you're enjoying tonight's conversation. Are you enjoying the content tonight? Put up a fire emoji if you're enjoying tonight's conversation. Y'all let me know what you think. Tonight's discussion. Tonight's fireside chat. King of B More, what up? Jack Brazen said very scary. King of B More just got here. Cool. Night family, isolation for elevation. Talk to you soon. So no doubt, man. Much respect, man, and thank you for everything you did by getting everybody started. Thank you. You got our good brother, man, John Gilbreth in here. I'm very appreciative of the support. Davey Lee said, I can't lie, it's on point. I need one more caller. Can I get another caller tonight? Zoe, love from Alabama, much respect. Which one are you, Joshua? Roll Tide or War Eagle? My son went to War Eagle. War Eagle. And they would say War Damn Eagle. War Damn Eagle. He said, roll, tide, roll. There you go. Sugar Crisp. Hey, and this show is flying.
Human relationships fall into one of three categories. The majority of the relationships that you're experiencing that are energy draining are parasitic. It's typically the family member that never stops complaining, the person that never stops criticizing or judging. At some point, you have to love yourself enough to know that it's okay to step away from those relationship dynamics, or minimally even to request that that person show up in a different way. Give people in your life the time to adjust, but if they can't adjust to this greater, more loving, more inclusive way of being, then love yourself enough to move on.
Lord have mercy, we in here tonight. And I know these are difficult topics to have. If you don't want to talk about them, people have participated in them, won some. It's like betting, gambling or whatever. They've won some, lost some. So a lot of times people don't want to have these discussions. And then also they feel like they've outgrown these types of situations and scenarios. But the reality of it is the same wounds, if you haven't dealt with them, are going to be with you in every relational situation. So at some point, you're going to have a deep dive, kind of look at, where you are and how far you've come, or why you're still where you were. Like if you have this overwhelming sense of stuckness. We've got callers from all over the country. Everybody wants to participate. Let's get them in here right now. Ronan, Indianapolis, you're up next. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
This is a great topic, discussing the provision pirate.
Here we go. The provision pirate?
Well, the thing is, like, people like to finesse us using our carnality or ego or superficial nature. So on the male side, you got handsome holocaust.
Handsome holocaust or the hobosexual, yes.
And then on the women's side, it's like you'll have women who claim to be the soft life, but those are referred to as beautiful bums in most cases.
Beautiful bums?
Oh. Yeah. It's like in this day and age, it's like I want to acquire as much as I can out of this person without sacrificing anything, very little to nothing, because I'm entitled to it. Like, there's many who say, like, you have to pay for my presence, so, I'm bringing my energy. But really, your energy is ashy. So,
wait.
You're just looking through it.
Oh, it's a lot of quips. Quip is in the building right now. They got ashy energy, sir? Oh, God. Keep going. I'm listening.
It's like, I say it's ashy because it's very empty. It's she's about as deep as a shot glass. So
vacuous, yeah.
When she shows up, it's like, I want you to pay for my vanity. Or
wow.
Then they would do, like, that's the main thing I mentioned about sponsorship. While she's in there looking for a sponsor, there's a lot of guys who are offering sponsorship because when it comes to interpersonal work, he's bankrupt.
Right. He lacks self-esteem. He doesn't think he's anything without a $500 pair of jeans, $4,000 shoes, $300 wallet. He got the keychain, so the car key can be shown. The whole nine. Yeah. I'm listening. Keep going, brother. You're cooking.
So my thing is, like, if you have value about yourself, male or female, you will not allow yourself to fall for these flea market fellowship type situations.
Flea market fellowship? Keep going, Ronan. Don't stop.
And this is like, I think you mentioned it yesterday or even many times before, this is the price you got to pay for authenticity. Because when you're authentic, that will open doors and access to things that some people with wealth or even more resources can't afford to buy.
Wow. Jeez. Have you ever pandered for a girl's attention, Ronan?
Admittedly, I have. And then I felt cheap. Because, like, why do I have to lower myself to basically rent relevance for a person who doesn't even see me like that? Unless, I reach a certain level. But then again, it's like, why would I have to do that? Like, again, if they can approach you authentically, then why bother? You're basically taxing yourself to be around people who are taxing to you.
Ronan just said he used to rent relevance.
Yeah.
I'm renting relevance in your mind for a short amount of time. How long? Man, that's powerful. How? What's the cost for renting relevance in someone else's mind? This is crazy to me.
Your authenticity, your genuine self. You basically have to mute your voice, the real you in park. So basically, you're selling yourself short for interpersonal escort.
Listen, you know how many? See, we've heard the female and the woman's side of this discussion, have we not?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you rarely hear a man being this transparent about what these types of interactions make him feel like. And he's being open and honest and saying he's participated in it. But he's also saying, wow, like, I got the cost is my self-worth, my self-esteem, you know, my sense of self in a lot of way.
Yeah.
Let me
go ahead. You look at it too, it's like a lot of people like to. You remember on The Color Purple where Chuck Avery was bragging about she got married? Well, that goes to today. I mean, some people go the extra mile just to show the world they have a septic soulmate.
A septic soulmate. Stop it. Listen, you stay right there. When we come forward, we going back to quip because he got so many quips I can't keep up. Yo. So just remember, that Supersonic record is produced by Dr. Dre. This is produced by Dr. Dre. Right? This is what Dr. Dre sounded like before NWA. This is what LA was on. It was about parties, house parties, dancing, all of that. Everybody was pop locking and break dancing at this time. That's what it sounded like. Supersonic might be old to the youngsters of this day.
That boy Ronan need to write a book.
Hey, Ronan out here cooking, bro. Yeah, but Dr. Dre produced that. And this is all before NWA. NWA is, I'm sure they're already in the lab, in the studio, 86, 87. I think they come out in 88. They come out in 88. So this is when hip hop just took a massive thematic shift. But before that, that's what this shit sounded like. And you had, here in LA, you had Uncle Jam's Army. They be throwing these big, parties at convention centers. And it was crazy. And I was a kid. I mean, I'm like junior high. So even if I wanted to go to these events, I mean, I was just too young, couldn't get in, but, they had one at the Pasadena Civic Center. Uncle Jam's Army at the Pasadena Civic Center. The Pasadena Civic Center used to be right behind the Pasadena Mall. Many of you guys saw the Pasadena Mall and didn't even know you were looking at it when you watched old episodes of The Fresh Prince. They had their little cuts, and they would have these this cut away from one scene to another scene, or going into commercial or coming back, and it would be the back side of the Pasadena Mall. Directly across the street from there was the Pasadena Civic Center. And they would have Grammys at the Pasadena Civic Center, American Music Awards, all of that. I think Motown 25 was at the Pasadena Civic Center. So Uncle Jam's Army would rent out the Pasadena Civic Center and have these huge dances, and they would be lit. And this is the music that they would play, and this is what it sounded like. This is what LA sounded like before we turned to gangster rap. Yep, that little back scene, and it'd have like a little statue. It'd be the back of the mall. It'd have like a little piece of art statue with like a little triangular, rectangular diamond or something in it. That was the Pasadena Mall. And we was in there as kids just hanging out. Like that's when you got a chance to go hang out at the mall. Arcade games and all of the 80s shit that was cool, We did that. You guys did a hell of a job on the likes. I'm thankful. I'm grateful for the likes. And is it me? This show did fly. It's not buffering. It's not buffering. I was just checking in the email. Forgive me. Yeah, we not buffering. We locked in. What is Supersonic the Hedgehog? I don't know what that means. No, why did you guys delete him? I don't know. I was just trying to investigate. Attila, you up next. Is it colognebutter.com? Can somebody put a link in the chat? Colognebutter.com.
Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. When I started making videos on YouTube in 2018, one of my early videos was how to recognize a toxic relationship. That video was based on a blog post that I wrote in 2010. I had no idea at the time that toxic people or relationships would be trending topics. At the time I made the video, I was focused on the person on the receiving end of these behaviors and how they could recognize and deal with them. I didn't expect to get questions from people saying, what if I'm the toxic one? What do I do? Since I've gotten that question a lot, I decided to answer it here. First, let me review the behaviors. I'm just going to list them, but for descriptions of them, you can watch the original video that I'll link to this one. Here are the 10 red flags or signs of a toxic relationship. Number 1, chronic anger, like blow-ups or moodiness. 2, chronic sarcasm, which is a form of disguised anger. 3, disparaging humor. Things aren't funny unless it insults someone. 4, having a punitive mindset that people deserve the bad things that happen to them. 5, needing to control people. 6, excessive insecurity and needing constant reassurance. 7, being extremely opinionated and judgmental. 8, manipulating you with guilt. 9, predominant self-centeredness in a way that they take more than they give. And number 10, needing to be on the offense with the worldview that people will stick it to you unless you get yours first. That's a lot of negative stuff, but to be clear, these are not meant to be
But it's a problem to be defensive too.
find a narcissist. These are thoughts and behavior patterns that anyone can engage in. It could be someone with a personality disorder.
Man, Dr. Tracy Marks, man, she don't be playing. Clinical psychiatrist. She don't be playing, man. She drops jewels. Listen. Let me just, I want to say this before I get, well, no, we got Ronan. And Ronan was in the midst of a firestorm. Ronan, get back in here, because I have a lot to say, but you've got to finish cooking, because you're cooking right now. Please give us your final thoughts on tonight's topic.
Okay, so the thing is, like, in order to keep these provision powers out of your way, but to learn how to, like, value what you have within yourself and around you. Because, like, they can pick up when someone's putting their time and their energy on clearance or for sale. They put a premium on your presence.
But like what Nazarene said, what if you got a man who probably doesn't have the empathetic capacity to deal with nurturing a woman, and he really wants to pay for her sex, silence, and service, right? And hey, you're my woman, capitulate to my rules. I'm not going to give you what your parents weren't able to give you, or what anybody else was able to give you, wasn't able to give you, but I can give you security and resources and protection. I can give you that, but you have to give me silence. I don't want to talk about that. Let's just enjoy and vibe. What about that kind of man? Isn't something missing in him too?
Well, that only makes him a bodyguard or a bouncer.
Oh, God.
The thing is, like, we get put in this box where we only protect and provide. But there's other two boxes that are never talked about as men. We gotta learn how to problem solve and procreate. Like, when you approach a woman, it's like, I let a woman know, like, you're my problem until you become one.
Keep going. You're not my problem until you become one.
No, I say, well, if we're in a relationship, you are my problem until you become one. And we're about to solve this one way or another. Either it's like communication, or you have to be excommunicated. And the provision part, or actually your procreation part, is more than just the sex. It's Islam beyond that. Like, all of us, we're pregnant with purpose and gifts. And a lot of them, you know, are creatively stillborn because we ignore those things in order to keep separated people around longer than they need to be.
You hear him, Andy. Creatively stillborn. Like, your creativity is stillborn. This guy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Ronan, guess what you just did, my brother?
I just blew up Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is in the building. They always come through on fire. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580 when we come forward. Oh, I got time. Let's keep the calls rolling. Attila from Houston, Texas is on deck. Attila, what's going on? What's really going on with this stuff? What is happening? Am I missing something? I'm naive to this whole thing. I don't know anything.
Stop playing. You are not no spring chicken. What we not gonna do? Because you know I
No,
know.
I'm not a spring chicken. That's one thing for sure. But I'm not really. I'm not really adroit at this topic. You tell me, what is it all about?
I think it's the basis of all of this. We're in love with utility. You have to break up with utility.
Ooh.
I ain't heard nothing about being this whole time. Everything is about what you can do, the descriptors, the names. Lovely. It's all about doing. That's boring. I'm bored with that. And I say that because at some point, your soul is always going to cry out for more. And I don't know if you remember, the guy was talking about the man with the prenup and how the woman had to, stay in shape and da-da-da-da. And I'm looking at the comments, well, what's wrong with staying in shape? All right, that's fair. We can stay in shape. But you know what you do? You open the door for an even bigger monster. If there's anything that you know about women, whatever you put within us, we will multiply. That's our job. So if you give me utility, I'm going to amplify it.
So if I give you negativity,
I'm just telling you.
So if a man gives a woman negativity, she's going to amplify that?
Of course.
Say more about this hidden superpower that most men probably have no idea of.
Y'all ain't stop. Y'all ain't slow. It's not a hidden superpower. What it is a spiritual manifestation of what happens in the physical. You give a seed, there's a child that's created, right? The same thing happens spiritually and energetically. Heck, you see that even just with person to person. If I'm going to make a situation better, it doesn't make sense to bring more negativity, right? But I have to be self-aware, right, to do that.
Yes.
Right?
Self-awareness is prerequisite for that, yes.
Right. So if I'm in some sort of like dark energy, dark triad type situation, I'm all about control, getting what I want, getting the bed, whatever it is people be saying. If that's my mentality, that's the energy I'm bringing, that's what's going to be multiplied. I don't understand the confusion. I'm still trying to figure it out. How are you transactional but expecting to, like, attract this vulnerable,
open, empathetic, loving, caring, compassionate
partner?
Right.
Right. You know who you are. You know what you got. I think what scares men the most, really, is honestly being played to the level in which they've played other people or worse.
Ooh.
So be mad at your mama, not me.
Ooh. That hurt. Because, yes, men think like that because when we have daughters, we'll be like, oh, gosh. Somebody.
You already know. Like, you don't mind dogging out some other man's daughter, but you don't tell your daughter, you a princess and you got a such and such. Sir.
She got a point.
The best way to teach your daughter is to be what it is that you want her to attract. Like, she needs to see that growing up. Like, my daddy does this, my daddy does that. I want to, right? And not in, like, this, like, childish, I'm romanticizing this man trying to make him my father, but in the sense that I know what to look for. So when I see you acting like, all right, brother. You know what?
No. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there. Stay right there. When we come forward, we're going back to Houston, Texas, because she's acting a complete fool right now. She's cooking. So I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that iced tea.
Blasphemy.
Huh?
I gotta show you this blasphemy.
What is this? What it?
You hear the crowd?
What are they saying?
Fuck him.
Oh nah, man, don't do that.
You caught some joints from old boy?
He gave them to me.
Oh, you just gave it to him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I've been promoting him all night.
Oh look, okay. I ain't mad at it.
I said, all right. Oh man, Jack. Man, prayers up for you, Jack. Man, Jack. Man, blessings be on your soul, brother. Fast recovery, fast healing. Hope everything. Hope you have an amazing, best of the best, top shelf, number one in the world surgeon. Love to you, brother.
Ain't this a Houdini sample interpolate none of that, or vice versa, no? Because they got it. They say they got you right in their hands and they don't need you. They say they sick and tired of letting down bars. I told the don't trust. It's making it hard. And by the time it begins, to your past, you done flush it down the toilet. And now they're bad. So they mad as hell. They send you to jail. But you out the next minute. Cause you won't bail. And on the very next day, you say, what the heck? You get a letter in the mail and disappear every day. And you're jumping up and down cause it ain't no case. And to the police, that is a waste. But yeah, rock man, you'll see it soon. And you won't forget that you is all good. Money in general for people, no matter how healthy they are, is a challenge. Money is this thing that's just a necessary part of life. You can't live without it, but it is very tricky to manage. It might seem like it's kind of an insignificant thing, but you begin to realize that it is connected to just about everything we do, and we can go wrong with money in 1,000 different directions. And the number one cause of conflict, the studies say in marriages today, is money. So it causes all kinds of issues. So money is very easy to misuse. And it's also very easy to develop the wrong attitude toward, no matter who you are. What I have learned over the years is if I want to know the priorities of a person, watch what they spend their money on. So money reveals a lot about you and what's important to you. So that's just in general. So money is a challenge for everybody. But it's an even greater challenge for people in recovery. And I got quite a long list, and some of you will relate to every single one of the points that I'm going to make. But the first major issue around money in recovery is that money can be a trigger to use. And what I have seen over years in working with people in recovery is that for some people, that very first payday, once they're in recovery, also becomes relapse day. Because they get that first paycheck and their brain goes to, boy, let's party. The second thing that can happen with people is just even having money in your pocket is a trigger. I know some addicts who, when they get their paycheck, they spend it all just to get rid of the money so they're not going to be tempted. They don't have any money left for groceries, but they spend it all.
Wow, that's heavy. That's deep stuff right there. Attila from Houston, Texas, get back in here and give us your final thoughts on tonight's very powerful topic.
Yes, yes.
That was
about fathers and daughters.
yes, but that was a very powerful
Yeah.
clip right there. Who is in that clip, Attila?
That's Tim Fletcher.
And he is cooking. Do you think people go into intimate relationships with that kind of dependency mindset where you could say, okay, an addict to some degree, and they have to talk to me about that.
I have.
I mean, so he's talking about like spending money, but I mean, if you want to be technical, like spiritual currency, right, and what we tend to focus our attention and energy on, like that's me all the way with my anxiety, as you already know. Thank you for talking me off the ledge. But yeah, like I think what you spend your spiritual currency on can have that same effect. At least it does for me, and I think it outpictures in the way that you relate with your partner. So if I am spending my spiritual currency on, like I said, anxiety, worry, worst case scenarios, obviously that's not going to create a very like wholesome dynamic. Right? Like I'm probably going to be a little ornery, probably not going to be the easiest or best person to deal with. And I think that's what we really should be focusing on versus like leeching off of people for the material lifestyles. Because I mean, let's be real, you could lose your job tomorrow. That don't mean nothing. Pensions don't mean nothing. None of your stuff really means anything, except for it's weird. It's like the stuff that's immaterial is the things that we need to be cultivating, and we're not doing that.
But you do recognize that it feels like a waste of time because, in fact, it is immaterial. It is something that is not quite tangible. I can't put my hand on. I can put my hand on my Spectrum bill.
Men struggle with that a lot.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's
struggle with that because you have to have something material to prove that utility. How am I going to prove my utility without the material item? That doesn't make sense. How am I worth anything to you without the material?
Well, maybe they never had.
Care about the material.
Well, maybe they didn't have an example of what that is like. Like, I wasn't raised with my father, so maybe I don't know what presence, and the weight of presence as a currency. Maybe I don't know what that feels like, right? There are a lot of men out there that feel that way. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So then you gotta learn how to like actively listen. Like when your woman is like telling you, hey, I actually need you to like be present with me, listen to me, right? Like when she's expressing her concerns to you, instead of just waving them off or like, basically halfway listening and deciding that you're just gonna buy her something or whatever, or change your behavior for 5 days to get her to be quiet. Like instead of going into manipulation mode, go into observation mode. You feel me?
Hey, Andy didn't like that. He said, "Be my peace, damn it! Don't come in here with that."
Andy, if you looking for another one to be your peace, you will be restless for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead and check into the asylum today, because let me tell you, you are not going to find peace in that woman, inside that woman. If you feel me, if you catch my drift, it's not going to happen.
I love it. Guess what you just did, young lady?
All right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas, joined us. Listen, man. Ultimately, the modern romance between lifestyle and love demands a radical reimagining. One might ask, are you dating the person or the seductive illusion of their lifestyle? Listen, scientists are arguing on whether or not we live in a simulation. We got to have the best of the best in the simulation. If you're a Christian, Christ told you that this world isn't real, it's the next world. If you're Buddhist, the Buddhists understood through Maya, the Hindu understood through Maya, this realm is an illusion. So many of us are so smitten by that which is fake while claiming to be real. The real world is the internal world. The world that serves as the repository for every hurt, every slight, every disappointment you've ever experienced. That's the real world. And once you can transcend that, that which the real world contains, right? If we look at the shadow as a container, if you can reconcile some of those things, you're going to achieve what I've been talking about all week long. You'll be able to break free of your wound's gravity, and you'll be able to emerge as a real, living, loving person. You won't have to worry about your accomplishments, and you won't have to worry about what they've accomplished in order to make you safe. Listen, it's my job to start the conversations. It's really up to you to finish them. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'll be back here tomorrow, which is Thursday, my Friday, with a slapper for the end of the week. I want you guys to enjoy your night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces! You didn't even, this is it. Zoe Williams, voice of reason. I'm out like bad checks. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for tapping in. I'm Ghost.